Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for John Sekol. Hey kids. My wife and I just moved here recently from Rochester, New York. Whenever I tell people we're from New York, they always assume New York City. Well, I gotta tell you, Rochester is upstate New York. It's about 300 miles northwest, 50 IQ points south, and 25 years behind New York City. It's kind of a happy little place, though, where every fall, all the people believe this is the year the Bills will win the Super Bowl. And honestly, I kind of miss my Bills fans. They always appreciated my comedy, because obviously they're used to failure and disappointment. Lack of direction, financial problems, huge inability to score. But when we moved to Vegas, I had to go to the DMV to get a new driver's license, and turns out I couldn't pass the eye test. Apparently the nuns were right, and I did go blind. So what they told me was I couldn't drive at night anymore, but if I passed a road test, I could get a daytime driving license, because apparently the ability to read the Taco Bell drive-through menu is critical at night, not so much during the day. So I did. I took the road test, and it was, the real deal. It was parallel parking, turn signals, not running over toddlers. Good news, I did pass the parallel parking. But the whole experience made me flash back to being 16 years old again. So I went home, put on Dark Side of the Moon, smoked a joint, popped a few pimples, got out the old Farrah Fawcett poster for a little me time. Until my mother walked in. But, forget Farrah Fawcett. The thing I've noticed about Vegas is that you've got some beautiful women here, just stunningly. And I don't mean the strippers and the showgirls. I'm talking about the ones you just see out in the supermarket. It's amazing to me. The other day I was in the grocery store. I saw a bunch of guys my age hanging out in the frozen food section, so I started talking to them. They told me they were there for the nipple hunting. I couldn't believe it. I said, that's disgusting. You're perverts. What time do we meet tomorrow? I'll bring the coffee. I'm getting a little concerned about all the rock stars who have been dying lately. It's like an epidemic. And who's next? You've got Roger Daltrey of The Who. When he sings Who Are You, he's not kidding. He has no idea who anybody is anymore. And Mick Jagger is so old, the devil has sympathy for him. But I can't really talk, I'm getting up there myself. I'm kind of at that awkward age, though. I'm way too old to believe in Santa, but I'm way too young to believe in Bernie. Even though we were classmates at PS 127, along with Larry King and Jesus. Jesus was voted most likely to resurrect. I was voted funniest looking. But you gotta look for the silver lining in any situation. Even old age has some benefits. For example, when I turned 50, I got my own boobs. And granted, they may not be as nice as Kate Upton's or Bruce Jenner's, but they're mine, and I can play with them anytime I want without getting slapped. Which comes in handy when it's a slow day at Albertsons. Although I never imagined I would be the person that had to say, hey, my eyes are up here, buddy. I did have a bit of an old man scare the other day, though. I got out of bed in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Next thing I know, I'm lying on the floor in a pool of blood. Some guy's trying to draw a chalk outline around my body, filming an episode of CSI. I think Keith Lyle was there. So my wife took me to the ER, And luckily they had their state-of-the-art high-tech office stapler to stitch up the wound in my head. Apparently our insurance program does not cover duct tape. But again, look on the bright side. I did a little research. Come to find out, people have used head wounds as a legal defense for committing murder. I'm thinking I may start a new bucket list. And on a related note, some of you folks may want to start laughing at these jokes, okay? I think the worst part about getting old, though, is reminiscing, thinking back on the good old days. Everybody does it. You know, you don't want to remember the bad stuff, you know, polio, Hitler, gonorrhea. But you think about the good days, the good old times. Back when people used turn signals and O.J. Simpson was a football player. When clubbing was something that happened to baby seals. When you went to your doctor to find out what brand of cigarettes he recommended. When you only had men and women. And we didn't need a warning label to tell us that coffee is hot. Don't put your head in a plastic bag. Don't dry your cat in the microwave. Because we weren't, you know, fucking idiots. But you know what I hate? It's a trick question. I'm an old white man. I hate everything. But what I really hate are mushrooms. You got one in your hand. You don't know if it's the kind you eat, the kind that poisons you, or the kind that makes you hallucinate. Nobody can tell. You got all these chefs telling you this is a fine culinary experience. No, it's fungus. No, thank you. I would not like some sliced athlete's foot on my pizza. I took my father to the fanciest, most expensive restaurant, and he tells the waiter he wants to order the shit cakes. I said, shit cakes? Dad, that's shiitake mushrooms, okay? And you just wash your hands in the soup. And that's why we can't go to Olive Garden anymore. But something else I hate is reality TV. And I think it's the term, reality TV. There's nothing real about this stuff. Keeping up with the Kardashians? No, how about keeping up with the car payments? That's real. If you're going to have a show called The Bachelor, fine, but hold it in a laundromat. Have some unwed mother of six come up and say, hey, can I bum a smoke? And I think the worst one I've seen, maybe you've heard it, Sex Sent Me to the ER. I think that's the one that should be called Keeping Up the Kardashians. I'm John Sekol. Thanks a lot.